you very much. Your response to the Supreme Court's judgment?
I think Supreme Court has only reiterated what was available in the Constitution, because Article 324, subclause 2, says that President shall appoint Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner subject to any law enacted by the Parliament. Now, this law was not enacted by the Parliament for last 73 years. Whereas this default provision of appointment by President continued. Supreme Court has only reiterated that either enact the law or you follow the panel which we are prescribing, so that there is a little pressure on government to enact a law.
But some may have jumped the gun, others may have, despite understanding the judgment, have said that there is an element of judicial overreach. Why bring in the CJI is a question that they have asked as far as the construct of the panel. Your thoughts on
it? If you go back in history, you will find that when this PIL was filed, just in that particular year, 2015, Law Commission in its 255th report suggested the same thing, that there should be a committee to select and for appointment to Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner. That is PM, leader of opposition or leader of the majority party of the Lok Sabha and the CJI. Another thing is that in 1990, wanted to amend the constitution by way of 70th Constitutional Amendment Bill. At that time also they had suggested a sort of collision that appointment shall be made in consultation with chairperson of Rajya Sabha, speaker of Lok Sabha, and the leader of opposition.
LOP,
So there has been thinking on these lines, and there may be many permutation and combinations. In fact, Parliament is supreme, sovereign, and they can decide which permutation combination is acceptable to them.
But in this case, O.P. Rawat, the question is that the the judiciary itself has been blamed of not being transparent. But here, in the election of a chief election commissioner, another constitutional post, the CJI could at times get veto power. How is that fair?
Of course, there is merit in your point, and in fact, another issue comes that any such executive action is also open to judicial review. Like last appointment of election commissioner, even that file was called by Honorable Supreme Court. Now, if CJI is a member of selection committee, then Supreme Court will be embarrassed in calling for such record and seeing as to what their CJI himself contributed there. So it is a little dicey and it may create embarrassing situation. But I think our parliament is really mature enough now after 75 years of independence, and we should have full faith in their wisdom.
Do you think therein lies the solution, that Parliament should draft a law, set the procedure for selection and put everything in place?
Yeah, why not? Because when Constitution was being drafted, there was a provision that the Chief Election Commissioner shall be appointed after ratification by 2/3 majority of the Parliament. And to drop that clause, this was added, that President shall appoint as a default provision till the law is enacted by Parliament. So therefore, the thinking has been in the minds of our lawmakers.
But do you believe this concept or allegation of judicial overreach, that the judiciary is assuming powers which make it overarching, and that's a trend, it's not healthy, it's dangerous? Should they also be open and transparent?
There are many instances where even the political parties want certain issues which are contentious and which will make them unpopular among the larger chunk of voters groups. They want that these issues should be best decided by the court so that we are out of it.
Fair point.
Those instances are there, and whatever you mentioned, that judicial overreach in getting even executive decisions is also there. I personally feel that in a democracy and in a healthy democracy, these kind of issues will keep coming, and all the three organs, judiciary, legislature and executive, they should mature through these kind of instances where one appears to be encroaching on the other's turf, and they should be able to navigate through those issues successfully without damaging the democratic fabric.
You are actually saying that the judiciary, the executive and the legislature getting into each other's hairs, crosshairs time and again is actually an example of a vibrant democracy, not vice versa.
Yeah, true. It educates you and matures you to take on more serious issues, which may be thrown by future challenges.
Ji. My final question, OP Rawat ji, do you think the judiciary should also become transparent? Courts should open themselves up?
Actually, transparency is the fulcrum of success of any vibrant democracy, and transparency should not be restricted to just one corner. Transparency in all walks of life, in all organizations which are instruments of governance. That is something which really makes democracy strong and vibrant, and I think whole country will look up to that.
Fair point made. Thank you for your short, sharp, candid opinion and answers. OP Rawat ji, always a pleasure speaking with you. Namaste. Thank you very much.